let's get started with caramelizing some onions. As you probably know, this takes a little while, so we're going to do this first while we get everything else set up and running. The oil going over here. We're going to go ahead and put them in. Oil's up a little bit higher right now. Get it started, get a coating on everything, then turn it down to low and just let it do its thing. We've had the onions on here for around 40 minutes. Starting to get a nice little brown on there. Starting to get that nice sweet smell that we're going for. We're not done yet. We're going to leave it cooking here while we do some of our other prep and get the actual meat ready to go. By the time we have that ready, we should be about good with these onions. I took a whole pork loin and I've cut it into quarters. The other 3 parts I sliced into thick cut chops over here, as you can see. I will package those out in 2s, vacuum seal them, have them in the freezer for future use. This is the part that we're using though for this actual recipe. So we have basically a roast here. I trimmed off some of the fat on top. I wasn't super precise about it, and I didn't take all the fat off there. Pork loin tends to be a little bit lean, so it's not a bad idea to leave some fat on there. I got a fair amount of the silver skin off there and some of the fat. I didn't take all the fat off of there, but I wanted to have it a little bit cleaner. So what we're going to do here is we're going to butterfly it open. So we're just going to take the side. We want to cut it down, not all the way through. We're going to leave it like that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put like a layer of shrink wrap on there and get the mallet, and we're going to flatten this out and so that it's easier to roll when we get more inside there. We have our plastic wrap on there, and we're just trying to flatten this out and make it fairly even all the way across. That way it'll roll easier, it'll cook more evenly. Basically start at the middle and work your way to the edges. Right, now that we've physically abused the pork loin here, I got it fairly flattened out. Just a straightforward rub, just an all-purpose seasoning, garlic, herb, black pepper, salt, just to get some nice savory on there. And put a layer on that side, flip it over, put a layer on this side, spread it in a little bit, and next we're going to put on the onions. Alright, so we have a nice caramelized layer on here. You can obviously do this more or less to suit you. We know that it's going to go in and cook for a little while in the smoker, so I didn't worry about cooking it all the way down. If I was going to have these to go on something else or as a part of another dish that wasn't going to cook for as long, I probably would have browned them up even a little bit more, but they're looking real nice. They smell great, so spread a nice layer on here. I did 1 big onion. The beauty of this is that I ended up using it all here, but if I didn't, oh darn, I've got caramelized onions to use for something else. They will keep, they will reheat. Imagine the tragedy of having to have caramelized onions left over. So we got the onions on there, on to the next steps. This is gruyere cheese that I have shredded up. Just going to put a nice layer on here. Obviously what we're going for here is that it's going to melt up and kind of soak into things through the cooking process. I just took some fresh jalapenos, cut them into discs, because I like some heat. Alright, now comes the fun part. So we got all the toppings on there. Now we got to roll it. So we're just going to slowly and gently roll it on up. Tuck in a few things here as everything kind of pushes out. So here's our roll. Got some butcher twine. Tie it together to hold some shape. Trim off some stray string. We don't need that dangling around. Put on a little extra layer of seasoning here. We are ready to go to the smoker. So we're going to throw it on there around 250, 275. We're going to watch our temp on it. Pork loin is going to dry out. This isn't pork shoulder. We don't want to run it to 200 or anything like that. You want to just barely get to 138, 140, and then pull it off and let it rest, and it'll get up to 145 certainly. By doing that, we're going to keep it from drying out too much. So we're going to be careful with temping it. Make sure we're keeping an eye on it. It's going to go a little bit slower because of the roll, but it's not going to take long. So just going to drop it right there in the middle and let it start doing its work. Alright, so we're just under the safe temp, but it's going to rest and rise up to it. I did put a little bit of gruyere on there at the end just to get a little bit extra bonus on top. I'm going to cover it up with foil, let it rest for a little bit, and then we're going to cut into this thing and have some lunch. We are rested. Give it a cut here. See how we look. Looks pretty damn tasty to me. Got a nice little smoke ring showing around there. Stayed pretty well together, and it smells great. Let's see how we taste. So the original recipe did not have the jalapenos on there. I wanted that, like I said, I wanted to spice it up a little bit. Very happy with how that turned out. The onions taste great. The gruyere is pretty tasty. The cook is nice. Overall, it's pretty damn good. So of course, what's our question? Should I smoke that? And the answer is yes. Just over 2 hours. Plenty of juice. Plenty of flavor. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's great. You should definitely go for it.